Mama! In this video, I am talking postpartum baskets. You know, all the things you don't know that you need to know that need to live on the back of your toilet during that afterbirth recovery period. I am so excited for you to leave this video knowing exactly what you need so that you can heal and recover quickly and comfortably. I'm Katie Huey Harrison, founder and editor-in-chief of Undefining Motherhood. We're an educational site and community where we help women cut out the noise, get the information they need so that you can feel confident in doing this mom thing your own way. Today, I'm talking to you about postpartum baskets so that you can be set up to recover as quickly, easily, and well as possible after birth. Last week, we started talking about setting up our postpartum recovery kits and how I have a better way. What we're doing is we're setting up 5 if you're breastfeeding, stations around our homes so that we have everything we need, where we need it, when we need it. Now, if you're already using Expecting and Organized, our pregnancy and newborn baby planner, then you have all the details on this particular kit, on what we do for creating all of these stations and how all of the products are used. But here, I'm going to give you an overview so that you'll be able to know exactly what you need to do for your postpartum recovery baskets. Last week, we talked about diaper stations, so go back and check that one out if you want. Now, when I talk about these mama baby stations we're creating, the number one question I always get is, where do I put these? Well, this one is super simple. You put it on the back of the toilet that you are going to use throughout your postpartum recovery. Pick the toilet that's most easily accessible in your house, and I strongly suggest just sticking to that one for a few weeks after birth because you're going to need all of these supplies, and having them sitting on the back is going to be an absolute game changer. So what do we need to put in our postpartum stations? Now, these postpartum baskets are full of things that most people won't talk to you about, but don't worry, friend, I've got you. I'm going to tell you what everything is, why you need it, and how you're going to use it. So, to start with, you're going to need a caddy. Now, this video is going to look a bit like an advertisement for Frida because Frida makes the caddy that I personally chose to purchase and most of the products that come inside. I'm going to tell you how to build this on your own, but also I'm going to use this as an example because it's amazing that we can buy these ready-made. This was not a thing when I had my son 4.5 years ago. So I'm so excited to have these easy to use options now. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to use from this kit is a Peri bottle. Let me show you what that looks like. A Peri bottle is something that you are going to use to spray your vagina after birth. I know, it sounds gross because, well, it's a little bit weird, right? But it's absolutely essential for helping you in your recovery. Now, what I love about this bottle from Frida Mom is that you can take the lid off, put your water in, close the lid, and then when you turn this upside down, it fits easily and can just spray the water exactly where you need it to go. So most hospitals will give you a bottle that you can use in your recovery time, but most of them are just going to be normal squirt bottles that you kind of have to like ratchet in and position, and I really recommend having one of these. This product is amazing. I was so excited when they came out with it. Of course, it was after my first postpartum period, but I get to use it this time. The box that I am using from Frida Mom is their Postpartum Recovery Kit Essentials. Don't worry, I'm gonna put that in the description below. This Peri bottle is not included in that kit. I bought this separately, and if this is the kit that you are buying, I highly recommend that you go ahead and buy one as well. Now, if you are buying their hospital bag essentials kit, then the Peri bottle is going to be included. So whatever kit you choose, make sure you look into what's included so you can get the extra things that you need. The next thing that you're going to want to have in your postpartum basket is mesh underwear. These mesh underwear, again, came from Frida. There are a number of different mesh underwears that you can buy. You will be given some in the hospital. Some hospitals are more comfortable than others, so I personally like to have my own. I hear from a lot of moms they're just not happy with the hospital ones. The ones that Frida Mom makes are Boyshort-Style, which is really great because you really don't want anything kind of riding up in those early days. And you also don't want anything that's going to be too compressive, that's going to hurt against a C-section scar, but you want them to be strong enough to hold up the Perineal Ice Packs that we're going to talk about in a second. So I love these. My other favorites that are reusable are the ones from Bodily, which are really great. I'm actually going to invest in both. I'm probably going to wear the Frida ones in the hospital, and then once I come home and I want to be a little bit more comfortable, I'm going to switch over to the ones from Bodily. Now, for our next product, I'm going to give you two different options depending on what you prefer. I'm going to use both, but depending on where I am in my recovery. So the next thing that you want to make sure you have in your kit is a Maxi Pad. Lots of Maxi Pads, actually. You want to have super, super thick absorbent Maxi Pads. Actually, the ones I pulled are not thick enough for those really early days. And then you're going to want to switch them out to lighter weight Maxi Pads so that you can use those instead. Now, here's a second option when you get to lighter weight Maxi Pads. Have you ever heard of period panties? Because they are all the rage now. And I have to tell you, they can be amazing for postpartum as well. So these are Thinx. Thinx. And again, links in the description below. What these do is they actually are made to absorb blood so that you're able to menstruate without wearing a tampon or using a tab. Well, postpartum, this can be really amazing because you can do the same thing. If you don't want those lightweight Maxi Pads once you get to them, you can switch to these. So when it comes to underwear, I am going to start this pregnancy with the Frida Mom underwear in the hospital. Then I'm going to change over to the Bodily disposables at home. And once I'm to a point where I'm no longer trying to hold up these massive Maxi Pads and I'm able to have something that isn't a Boyshort cut, then I'm going to switch over to my Thinx. One thing you want to make sure you have in your box, and I'm going to show you what Frida Mom gives you, and then I'm also going to give you an alternative for if you're building your own box. You want to have something that you can use on hemorrhoids and also vaginal tears, and make sure that you are addressing the pain that can occur from those and really trying to soothe that and ease that. So here's the answer that Frida Mom has to this. This is what they call perennial healing foam. So what you do when you put on your pad, be it a Maxi Pad or a Perineal Ice Pack, you're going to squirt this foam on the top of that pad before you put your underwear back on, so that foam is going to come up and it's going to hit you in healing areas just like you need it to do. Now, if you're not using the Frida Mom kit, or if you want to make sure that you have something that you know is going to address the pain, my recommendation is Dermoplast. I like the name brand. Again, most hospitals are going to give you some sort of healing spray. My experience is that they're not always actually name brand. For that early hospital time, I really love and recommend Dermoplast. This was suggested to me by a friend who is both an OB and a mom. Oh my gosh, I was so glad that I had this in my hospital bag when I was there during my last pregnancy with Jack. If you are looking to go a little bit more natural in your products, there's an amazing healing spray that Earth Mama Organics makes, and I also highly recommend. The next thing that you're going to want to have in your postpartum basket is witch hazel pads. Let me show you what that means. Frida Mom's answer to this problem is these witch hazel pads. What you do is you put them on top of whatever pad you're wearing in your underwear. Then you're going to put that foam, if you're using all of the Frida Mom things, on top. And then you're going to pull on your underwear. You just layer them on top of your pad so that they're going to be touching whatever you need them to touch. These are for hemorrhoid comfort. They're also for any tearing that you might have from delivery. Now, that's the Frida Mom version. The most common ones, if you're building your own kit, Tux pads. Tux pads are great. They're not expensive. For a really giant bottle, they'll get you a long way. So I strongly recommend using these. And finally, the pièce de résistance of your postpartum basket, and believe me, you're gonna need it and you're gonna love it. Perineal Ice Packs. What is a Perineal Ice Pack? It is an ice pack that you put as a pad in your underwear, and you wear it so that it will cool and comfort your vagina. I know, sounds weird, sounds gross, totally is both, but it's amazing. This is especially important if you have a vaginal birth, but it also can really help C-section moms who had to labor before they had their C-sections. You're still likely going to have some tenderness, swelling, soreness, and so having these is an absolute game changer. If you're making your kit at home, Frida Mom sells these independently. There are also tons of other brands. Just look up Perineal Ice Packs, again, linked in the description below, and you'll be able to find exactly what you need. They're super easy. You don't have to put them in the freezer. You just I'm not going to do it because I want to use this later, but you just pop the bag, and when you hear a pop, it's starting to cool, and then you can shake it up, put it in as your pad. Amazing. Now you can make this kit from scratch, which is what I did when I had Jack, or you can buy a pre-made one. My two favorite pre-made kits are obviously the one from Frida Mom and also the Care for Birth box from Bodily. And what's really great about the Bodily boxes, it comes with a few other extra comfort items that you aren't going to get in something as basic as Frida Mom. You are going to have to buy a few small items, but they're going to be small. And you're going to have some comforts that are really great. The other thing I love about the Bodily box, and these are all linked below, is that they also have boxes specifically for vaginal birth and for C-sections. So if you're a scheduled C-section and you know that's what's going to happen, you can buy their C kit, and you're not going to need all of the other things that would come in the Care for Birth box. If you can't really know, I guess, that you're going to have a vaginal delivery, but if you know that's your likely option, you can also buy their V kit, or if you're ordering from the hospital to have when you get home, that's a great option once you know what type of birth you've had. Now, before I tell you what other items you want to have in your bathroom that aren't necessarily part of this back of the toilet postpartum basket, I want to ask you, what was your most used item or your favorite item in your postpartum basket? For me, it is hands down that Perineal Ice Pack, but I'm really excited to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below. Now, we've covered everything that you want to have in that back of the toilet postpartum basket, but there are some other items that you're going to want to keep on hand in your bathroom so they're nearby and easy to use. The first one that I really recommend is a Sitz Bath. You can do this in a couple of different ways. You can buy a unit that you physically place on your toilet, and then you're just able to sit on the toilet and kind of clean yourself, and you're going to get a lot of healing, soothing benefits from this. It's great for comfort, and I really strongly recommend it. If you think you're going to have time to actually get in the bathtub, which would be amazing, then you can also create your own Sitz Bath that you put into your bathtub, or you can purchase a pre-made one. If you want to know more about Sitz Baths and how they work, check below, and I have a link to our article on Sitz Baths that you can find in our website. It tells you different types you can have, product recommendations, and how to DIY your own. Finally, on your bathroom counter, or in your medicine cabinet, it's probably better, there are two different products that I really recommend having during the postpartum period. As always, if you're taking medication, consult your doctor, make sure it's okay. Ask ahead of time, because you're going to want these ahead of time, not having to wait to hear back from someone. I suggest stool softener and a laxative suppository, not the laxative you put in your drink. A suppository. I know it sounds really gross. It is really gross, but it can be a lifesaver if it's needed. So that first postpartum poop is pretty scary, and being able to be on a stool softener during that time, it's going to take a lot of the anxiety away. Check the description below if this is something that concerns you, because we have a full article on our website on postpartum poop. I know, again, it's gross, but we've got to talk about the gross things if we want you to really be prepared and know what you're getting into. So, stool softener, promise you, it's your friend. Here's why I want you to have a laxative suppository, assuming that you talk to your doctor and they okay it. If you get constipated, that pain comes on so exceedingly quickly. And it is intense with all that your abdominal muscles, your stomach, your entire pelvic area has been through. It can be one of the most miserable feelings I know how to describe. What you want to have on hand is a laxative suppository. So prepare for that postpartum poop ahead of time. Talk to your OB, ask what they think you should have, and then make sure that you grab these products, because they are going to be a lifesaver if or when needed. Be sure to download my full Getting Ready for Baby bundle. It's completely free. I've linked it in the description below, and it's going to talk to you about all of these subjects and so much more to help you get ready for baby. Thank you so much, friend, for watching today. I hope you have found this to be super helpful and not too scary, because I promise if you're set up well, it's going to get you through and you're going to be so thankful that you had all of this taken care of before baby was born. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Coming up, we're going to talk about your baby medicine kit, mom snacks, and breastfeeding station. Thanks for watching. Bye.